Imagine a world, not our world, but one startlingly different. A world where the great currents of history flowed down an alternate channel. Think of it, a single decision, a battle turned, a moment of chance, and the entire trajectory of human civilization shifts. This is the power of contingency. The universe is a vast ocean of possibilities. We navigate but one stream. What if we could glimpse another? One where the 20th century and indeed our 21st unfolded under a vastly different banner. The Great War. We call it World War I, a cataclysm that reshaped empires and redrew maps. In our timeline, it ended with an Allied victory. But history is not a fixed script. It is a dynamic process. Consider the immense forces at play, the ambitions of nations, the lives of millions, the weight of their hopes and fears, all balanced on a knife's edge. Prepare to explore a world where the 20th century took a sharp, unexpected turn leading to a 2025 you might scarcely recognize. The year is 1918. Spring. On the Western Front, a stalemate. A brutal landscape of trenches, mud, and barbed wire. Millions had perished. Hope was a scarce commodity. In our history, Germany's spring offensive, Operation Michael, ultimately failed. It was a desperate gamble that exhausted their resources. But in this other timeline, the dice rolled differently. Imagine a slight shift in strategy, a more concentrated force, perhaps a breakthrough in intelligence, or a moment of Allied miscalculation. These small changes can have enormous consequences. Consider Operation Michael II, not a historical name, but a concept for our journey. A renewed, re-energized German offensive. Perhaps learning from the initial push, German high command under Ludendorff and Hindenburg refined their tactics. They focused their elite stormtroopers with pinpoint precision. They exploited a momentary weakness in the Allied lines. The offensive, which had stalled, now surged forward with terrifying momentum. The Allied forces, weary from years of war and depleted by the initial Michael offensive, began to buckle under this relentless second wave of attacks. The breakthrough was catastrophic for the Entente. Amiens fell, the British and French armies were split. The guns fell silent across Europe. Not with the armistice of Compiègne we know, but with a German-dictated peace. Instead of the Treaty of Versailles, which so harshly penalized Germany in our timeline, imagine the Treaty of Vienna, signed in the grand halls of the Hofburg Palace, a symbol of Austro-Hungarian resurgence, albeit under German dominance. Here, the victorious Central Powers gathered to reshape the continent according to their designs. Kaiser Wilhelm II, no longer a beleaguered monarch but a triumphant emperor, presided over the redrawing of nations. The map of Europe underwent a dramatic transformation. Germany annexed territories rich in resources and strategic value. Luxembourg and significant portions of eastern France, including the iron ore fields of Brie-Longueuil, were incorporated into the Reich. The victory of the Central Powers sent shockwaves far beyond the battlefields of Europe. The United States, a rising giant, found itself in a profoundly altered global landscape. Having avoided deep entanglement in the latter stages of the war, America watched as German economic and political influence surged. German corporations, backed by the state and enriched by war indemnities and access to new resources, began an aggressive global expansion. They challenged American industrial supremacy in markets across South America, Asia, and even within the United States itself. The Reichsmark became a powerful rival to the dollar and the pound. International politics underwent a seismic shift. Any League of Nations, if formed at all, would be headquartered in Berlin or Vienna, not Geneva. Technological development in this alternate world took a different path. With Germany as the leading global power, its scientific and engineering priorities shaped innovation. Imagine the skies dominated not by airplanes as we know them, but by colossal Zeppelins. These majestic airships, perfected and scaled up, became the primary mode of intercontinental travel. Luxurious, silent leviathans gliding between Berlin, New York, Tokyo, and the new German colonial capitals. Aerodynamics and lighter-than-air technology received immense funding, perhaps delaying the rapid development of heavier-than-air craft for mass transport, or channeling it primarily towards military applications. Culture, too, would bear the imprint of German victory. The vibrant, chaotic experimentation of the Roaring Twenties we experienced might be replaced by a more ordered, perhaps more somber cultural landscape. German expressionism in art and film might continue, but perhaps infused with a sense of imperial grandeur or nationalist fervor. Architecture would likely favor monumentalism, grand public buildings, statues and stadiums designed to project power and permanence.